Hi, this is Pete Geiger, and today we're going to talk a little bit about how to get ready for the heating season. We're going to be talking specifically about firewood, and for many of us that live in the northern states, firewood is a great supplement to heating with oil and with gas. Today, Scott Laliberte, a good friend of mine who spends a lot of time in the woods of Maine, cuts wood, and is going to talk to us a little bit about how to get ready for the heating season by using wood, and what makes for good wood, and quite frankly, how do you know if wood is dry and ready to burn? So Scott, what are the kinds of wood that we find around in Maine and other northern states?
The best woods in Maine, usually people go for your hardwood. And hardwoods such as your maples, your oaks, your white birches, and then there's your hickory. Those are your hottest burning wood. The only drawback to having hardwoods is you got to make sure they're prepped, and what I mean with that, there's got to have a seasoned wood. It usually takes 6 to 9 months for a hardwood to really be seasoned, and for such woods such as oak, your oaks, it really should take a year to season the wood properly for an efficient burn.
Okay, so we have a few woods here, and why don't you just tell us what to look for? If you get wood delivered to your house, how do you know if it's really seasoned?
That's a good question. Most people, when they get their firewood, this is a piece of oak. Now you can tell this is a piece of oak that's been dried out for a little while, because you get a solid color on the end. It gets really dark. Now when you're looking at your oaks and your other forms of wood, you'll see these little stress cracks all the way through the end of the wood. That tells you that the wood is drying, and that tells you that it's pretty close to being a good seasoned piece of firewood. You have other pieces of wood, such as your white birch. Now your white birch is also a good piece of hardwood, but see how they dry? They dry a lot lighter than the oak. So either your firewood is going to look like a gray, dry look, or it's going to have a dark wood grain look. And you also keep in mind, it's key to look for those cracks that go through the center of the wood. That tells you that it's drying efficiently.
And even the weight of the wood is...
The weight, definitely. When you take two pieces of wood together that are dry, you'll get like a little pong out of the wood when you hit it. It's like a little higher density of sound. And when you take two soaking wet pieces of wood, you're going to get just a thud. It's going to be a very dead sound, and you'll know that the wood is definitely not dry for burning.
Okay, what else do we have here?
Well, you got a piece of maple. Maple's a really good piece of firewood. There's different types of maple. There's hardwood maples. There's maples that are like your silver maples, your white maples, your red maples. All of them are pretty good. And of course, those are going to dry light looking also.
Well, at the Farmer's Almanac, we want to help you get ready for winter. We want you to be prepared for whatever comes your way. And so Scott Laliberte was joining me today. If you have any questions about firewood, about stacking, about any aspect of getting ready for winter, drop me a note at Pete Geiger at farmersalmanac.com, and jot us a note. We'll answer the question.